Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks.
Let's go, fellas.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Ready? Black 22. 5-0. Let's go.
On 1st and 10, Winston. Escaping the pressure right. Oh, he's going to take a shot, and that's caught inside the 30. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Marquez Valdes-Scantling, 75 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taking it to 14 here. And he nearly broke that for more, but as it is, they'll start this drive at about the 37-yard line.
First and 10 at their own 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
I'm coming. 56 is Mike. 56 is the Mike.
From the gun, it's Wentz. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And last time the formula was pretty simple. One play drive, long pass. That maybe they just want to do that again, right?
And that's exactly how you want to draw things up. Whether it's on your grease board, right, in your playbook, one play drive is exactly what you want on offense. What they have to be careful of is not having a letdown. It was fairly easy last time. They can't expect that going forward.
And we'll see if it's that easy here.
Give me that green, triple team. Let's go.
Following the interception, Winston. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. After the sack on 1st down, Winston. He's got it complete to Stephon Diggs.
Complete to Stephon Diggs. 17 yards on the play. It's now 3rd down.
Ready? Blue lady. Mike 51. Watch the curve. White. 51 to Mike. 51. Let's go. Pick your game. Let's go now.
On 3rd down, Winston. He's got his man, Valdes-Scantling. 10 yards and a Seattle 1st down.
A gain of 10 yards.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
From the shotgun, it's Winston. And Diggs has it. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 25 yards that time.
I don't care who you put on him. He's going to be a handful in one-on-one throws.
Yeah, right now, you're right. They're in man-to-man. Maybe need some safety help.
I would say that'd be a good idea. Double-team him somehow. I'm going to have to make someone else beat me rather than let him shred my defense.
This is caught. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. That goes for a gain of 31. 2 big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. They'll throw again. Winston. And he's got the big tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. 2 yards on the touchdown there. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Well, they got the extra point, and it's now 14-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. Fairly short kick, taken at the 14 here. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40.
At their own 39-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run. A first carry for Trenton Cannon. It appears he'll be a few inches short, so 9 yards on the gain officially, and it'll be 3rd down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again.
And now the ball's out. Fumble near midfield. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Great coverage there. Holds them to a 2-yard return following a 50-yard punt. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. And they will start this drive with just terrible field position, backed up inside their own 5.
But we have seen teams be bold here and take shots, right? Sometimes you go max protection, make it a one-receiver route, and take your shot downfield and see what happens. And occasionally, we've seen success occur.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. 23 yards, the final tally. Winston of the offense with a 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Now this throw caught left side. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first. Jameis now 8 of 8 throwing the ball in this first quarter. It's 1st and 10. From the gun, Winston. Going deep this time for Miller. And this is caught at the 20. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. 3 touchdown passes now in the ball game for Jameis Winston. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now 21-0. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. This will be taken in at the 1. And he's going to be taken down on what will be the final play of this first quarter. 21-0 our score after 1. The Bengals drive about to get going. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Darrell Henderson with his first career touchdown in his first career game. As they are now on the board here in the first half. Bryant's extra point up and good. And they'll cut the lead to 21-7. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
At their own 25-yard line.
Ready!
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And thus far, the weather has not slowed this offense down one bit. They've looked good so far in the first half.
They certainly have. And think back to our meeting with the head coach. And we asked him because we saw the forecast for this game, didn't we? We said, hey, have you prepared for this? And he talked about the different drills that they've done in adverse conditions, the wet ball drills, things of that nature. He said, I don't think it's going to slow us down much. We tend to handle it pretty well, and he's been right.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Flip it, flip it, flip it. Easy. Hey, me. I got this. Come on. Let me go.
Now Winston. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this will be caught at the 30. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Jameis Winston with his 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Barely got the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that
It's a foot race. 30, 20, and all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Darrell Henderson making quite a splash with his 2nd touchdown in his NFL debut. And the Bengals are able to draw a bit closer. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and that cuts the lead to 28-14. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
they've taken momentum and pretty much not just give him a jersey, but a seat on the bench as well. Whatever do you need, you've got it, because the way they're stringing things together and creating that distance between them and their opponent, it's really hard to narrow that gap. And the other part is they're taking their spirit away from them too.
Yeah, now they're just looking to add to that total. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Javon Hargrave, the D tackle, getting the sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
I know he ain't. Wait. Check.
Third and long for Winston. And he goes down. It's a sack. They get him back at his own 3-yard line.
Well, if an offense is going to throw the ball on this part of the field, any pass rusher will tell you that's his favorite part. Gets a chance to get after the quarterback. It's almost like a reverse red zone. They can create points using their defense, and this time they take their man down.
Here we go. At the Seahawks 40-yard line.
Go. Sweetie. Here we go.
Wentz now on first down. That's complete to Jake Butt. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
You got it.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3.
I can't believe they even let you play.
2nd down, it's Henderson. And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
Brought down back at the 36-yard line.
They'll need to get it to the 30 for a first. This is 3rd down. Working from the gun. Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Leighton Vander Esch wreaking havoc with a sack.
Well, someone's been up to the task so far in this game. They are already up a couple of scores, Brandon, and guess what? I think they're just going to pin their ears back now and get upfield and get after the quarterback.
Been such an impressive first half to get that lead. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Seahawks will take over at their own 20. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field.
Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Now the Bengals going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon.
5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston. He'll get this to his speedster, Paul Richardson. And he'll be corralled well upfield right around the 40-yard line. The catch and run pays off for 29 yards. And with that completion, he's now north of 200 yards here in the first half. Boy, a tough start for the secondary defensively.
It is, and it's got to put a dent in their confidence. And, you know, you always want to keep that up and feel like you can always bounce back after plays. But with the kind of numbers he's putting up here, it's starting to wear on them a little bit, I think. So they're looking at each other and trying to figure out what defense will work and how can they play better without getting beat deep for big passes.
We remind you that coming up in 2 minutes, we'll again head down to visit with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando, back for another year. He'll have scores from around the NFL here on this opening weekend. Jameis to throw it. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. They come up on 2nd and long, and the pass protection just has not been there this afternoon. To throw, Winston lets this one rip toward Graham. And And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's third down. Well, the Bengals and Seahawks meeting here in Week 1, and this is a combination that we haven't seen that often on the turf. If you look back to when the franchises began facing each other all the way back in 1977. But since then, just 20 meetings between the two teams. And the Bengals have won 11 of them, including the last meeting back in October of 2015. Winston. And that will be incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. So they'll play the field position game here as a very nice punt is going to pin them back.
Yeah, it's almost like watching a game of tennis, or do you prefer ping pong? You know, back and forth like that? That definitely was excellent, wasn't it?
And he's going to be taken down shy of the 10, right around the 9-yard line.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, it's Henderson. He'll have a first down and more past the 20. A big play there just before halftime. 41 yards on the ground. So all of a sudden with that run, maybe now a chance for points here.
It's a total mind shift, isn't it? Because what you were saying before was, hey, let's just get out of here, get the half over with. Instead, we can get some points now.
On first down, Wentz. Buying time to his left. And he'll go down inside the 45 before going out of bounds. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's second down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
On second down now, it's Henderson, and maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Bengals going to use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Now Wentz on third down. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now the Seahawks call the second of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. Here's Dustin Colquitt now as he's on to punt for Cincinnati. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. You're under 30 seconds to go. Field position not great. Time to call it a half, wouldn't you say?
Well, you know we all have that little extra gene that says let's push the envelope a little bit, right? What needs to be going through the play caller's mind right now, a potential fumbled snap that can get returned, a strip sack that can get returned, right? Any of those types of plays, that should be a deterrent to calling something that could get you in big trouble.
He's going to go for a big... Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Paul Richardson. As the first half is winding down. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
And this offense going to elect to burn a timeout with 5 seconds remaining in quarter number 2. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. A final shot before half for Wentz. He'll rifle this one deep right side. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. So we are at halftime here in the opener of the 2019 regular season as we send you cross-country to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Go. 55 to Mike. Watch the pass.
Throwing on first is Wentz. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
So now then, the big play has them all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10.
He's coming. 22-jet bomber. 22-jet bomber. Slam. Shoot.
Boy, and now they can't even get a play off. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run, and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. They run once more with Henderson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll make this a 2nd and long. Now Wentz. Towards the end zone for Brown. It's caught, and there's the first NFL catch for Marquise Brown. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. Hollywood, Marquise Brown, 33 yards. And the Bengals are able to cut into this lead. Bryant's extra point up and good. And that will get them one closer. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. He was looking for Paul Richardson there, but it's going to be 2nd down. From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Come on. Sunday. '57's the mic. 57's the mic. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50. 5 on the 50.
Winston now. It's complete to Diggs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 23 yards the pickup there. And on that last play there, he's over 400 yards passing now.
You know what that generally means?
Success.
That, and it means you really didn't miss opportunities. Usually very accurate. The ball's getting to the right place. Guys are making yardage after the catch to help you out that way. I mean, the whole team has picked it up. And don't forget, that means the offensive line has had to pass protect pretty well, too.
Everyone dialed in. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Working out of the gun. Winston. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. If they didn't have that penalty a moment ago, it'd be a first down. Still a nice 13-yard pickup. Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Winston. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Green, Timothy. Follow. 57's the mic. Watch 57. Watch the edge. Green, Timothy. Let's go.
To the air again with Winston. Eluding the pressure right. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Well, the other day they told us when we've got 3rd and 5 or less, we have to be able to convert. And I guess every team would say that, Charles, but an opportunity missed there.
What they were trying to tell us is they believe it's a matchup game at that point. And they liked some matchups that they had, thought they could exploit them, unable to do so on that play.
Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Seattle. And it's out of bounds. Now we'll see what the side judge says. He says out at the 8-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position. But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Well, the first play of the drive lost 4. Now they'll look to move it forward here on 2nd and 14. Again, it's Henderson. And he'll find a little space. He gets us up near the 10. Call it a gain of 5 that time. They'll be left with a 3rd down and about 9 to go.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. Throwing now is Wentz. There's the first NFL catch for the former Georgia Bulldog, Mecole Hardman. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
It's a gain of 20. First down.
What I love about watching the passing game nowadays is that the one-dimensional receiver is really starting to leave the game. You've got to be able to do it all. Of course, you got to run fast. Of course, you got to catch the ball. But route running savvy and toughness, there's a premium for all of that now.
It's a loss of a yard there, and it's 2nd down.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive lineman out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They all go by.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. Wentz going to throw. And that one knocked away and incomplete. Nice job defensively on what will be the final play of the 3rd quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
53, Mike.
They'll go for it. It's Wentz. And he's got his man, Marquise Brown. There he goes left side. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Marquise Brown, 78 yards, as his guys are back within a single score. Bryant tacks on the extra point, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. This game back within a touchdown now as the kickoff's away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Seahawks take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've been asleep for a little while on this side of the football, Charles, and the score is just a one-score game now. Haven't had any points this half. What gives?
Let's go old school here. All right, let's get back to the basics. Get back to running the football, high percentage throws. Find the guys that eat pressure and make plays for you and make sure they touch it.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Here's Winston. A little dump off for Corral. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
Came up a little short on the last pass play. They did get 9 yards out of it, leaving him with his 3rd and 1. Throwing, Winston. And he's able to find Diggs. 7 catches for him now, and this last one, a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
And the play clock is going to run out here. They're in no hurry to get a play off. And that'll set them back 5. The delay of game backs them up 5, 1st and 15. They'll throw again. Winston. Going underneath for Corral. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
To throw again on 2nd down. Winston. The attempt on the dive, and he has it. What a catch. And he's got another 1st down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 40. On 1st and 10, Winston. Flushed out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep. And at the 7-yard line, the catch is made. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Now Winston. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Stephon Diggs. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point was hooking, but he does make it through. And the lead now up to 14. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. So they will accept the penalty and move forward. A very good starting field position for the Bengals here as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. To throw, it's Wentz. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Well, there's no doubt in my mind that he dreamed of this. How about this for your debut? Second sack in the opener.
Yeah, it's great to get one. That's memorable. Two? Hello.
He dreamed about it. He thought about it. Did he ever expect it to happen?
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off right around the 43, and he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
57's the mic. Watch 57.
In your face.
Check 24. Check 24.
Mike's 57.
Wait. Green, come team.
Let's make these babies crawl the way back home.
Check.
Following the interception, Winston. Flush to his right. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion.
57. I got you. 57. Mike.
Throwing again, Winston on 2nd and 10. And Diggs has it. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. Boy, another big play late here for an offense, Charles. It certainly has had its fair share of big plays.
Coverage has been a problem all game long, and I would say that going along with that has been confidence. Because even if they had the right coverage, they've still dented them, and now it's been a real issue for them during this game.
57's the mic. Watch 57. That's trash.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike.
He don't know no better.
They're looking to throw this. Winston. Open on the left side. This is Valdez-Scantling. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a pick over 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Winston. Stepping up. He'll try and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Third and short yardage, Winston. And he's got the big tight end, Graham. Touchdown, Seattle. Jimmy Graham. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. Here the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Bailey got the extra point, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Winston throw for it on 4th. And he's going to be brought down. Back at his own 6-yard line. Reuben Foster, the former national champion at Alabama, gets in for the sack. Well, they probably don't need to run a play here, but you wonder if they're going to be able to resist on 1st and goal. Winston here to throw. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. Stephon Diggs. with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. Yeah, the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. Extra point hugged the upright a bit, but he gets it to go. And that'll increase their lead to 28. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown.
The Bengals take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The Bengals drive about to get going. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now a run with Henderson. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. So the victory here for Seattle. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Real football.
Not preseason football where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Seahawks, that'll be a happy locker room as they start the season 1-0. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Pittsburgh Steelers. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll get a chance to redeem themselves at home next week.